In this crazy, nonstop world we all live in, there's a question that kind of follows a lot of us around. How do we find that real, lasting contentment? Well, the answer might not be out there in the future. It might actually be hidden in a piece of ancient wisdom. And that's exactly what we're going to dive into today. I mean, you've felt this, right? You finally get the job, or the car, or that relationship you've been dreaming of. And for a second, it's great. You're happy. But then, poof, the finish line just moves. Suddenly, there's always something else on the horizon. This whole feeling of a constantly moving target, that's the problem we're going to get to the bottom of. So, where do we find the key to break this cycle? Well, it actually comes from a piece of ancient wisdom that is, honestly, surprisingly blunt. It's a Sanskrit verse that basically says, hey, fool, give up this constant thirst for more wealth and just be content with what you earn from your own hard work. I mean, forget thinking of this as some old, dusty poetry. This is a direct diagnosis of our modern lives. It's calling us out. Yeah, did you catch that word? Fool. That's pretty direct, isn't it? The verse is basically telling us that this constant chase we're on, it's not just a bad habit, it's a delusion. And that's a huge idea. It suggests we're caught in a kind of trick, a trick our own minds are playing on us. So, okay, let's break down what this delusion actually is. So, here's the delusion in a nutshell. It's this belief that our happiness, our peace of mind is somewhere out there, in things, in people, in hitting that next big goal. And this creates this endless hunger, right? It's like trying to find water in a desert. The problem isn't that you're thirsty. The problem is you're looking in totally the wrong spot. So what are we actually chasing? What are these objects? Well, it's the obvious stuff for sure. Wealth, the car, the big bank account. But it goes deeper. It's also about those intangible things we're all hungry for. Prestige, getting that pat on the back, seeking appreciation. We even start treating our relationships like possessions, things we need to have and control. And right at the heart of it all, the ego. It's the engine driving this whole relentless chase. Okay, but here's where things take a really radical turn. This ancient wisdom argues something pretty profound. The cars, the money, the prestige, they aren't the real problem. The true battleground, the real fight, is happening inside your own mind. See, by getting caught up in this chase, we're basically handing over the keys. We give up control, and that's the real source of our suffering. And this brings us to a really crucial distinction. Think about it like this. Your mind can either be your tool or it can be your master. When it's a tool, you're in control. You use it, you direct it. But when we get lost in that endless chase for more, the roles completely flip. Your mind becomes the master. And it starts playing games with you, right? It cooks up these endless desires and it turns into the worst kind of boss imaginable, just ruling you from the inside out. So what's the cost? What's the price we pay for letting our minds run the show like this? Well, it's that daily cocktail of stuff we all know too well. Anxiety, feeling agitated, fear, frustration. It's usually not some big dramatic collapse. It's more like a recipe for constant low-grade suffering that just slowly, day by day, grinds you down. Okay, so that's the diagnosis. It's a bit grim, I know. But what's the cure? The good news is this ancient verse doesn't just point out the problem and leave us hanging. It actually offers a really practical prescription for peace. And it's broken down into some clear, actionable steps we can all take. All right, this path to peace really boils down to 3 key steps. Step 1, you have to challenge the chase. The next time you feel that pull, that desperate need for something, just stop and ask your mind, hey, why? Why am I chasing this? Really question that impulse. Step 2, value your honest effort. This is about finding contentment in what you do, in the work itself, not just waiting for some reward at the end. And finally, step 3, find a real purpose in service. When you shift your focus from what can I get to what can I give, you completely change the game. Now, I want to be super clear about something here because this is really important. This is not about giving up on life. It's not about becoming lazy or unproductive. You still work, you still provide for your family, you take care of your needs. The change is all internal. It's about drawing a line in the sand between your actual needs and that crippling anxiety that comes from constant wanting. When you start walking this path, it ultimately leads to something huge. A radical redefinition of a word we all think we know, wealth. It's all about shifting your entire value system, moving it from the outside world to the inside. So let's look at the new balance sheet, so to speak. On one side, you've got your worldly wealth, the cars, the jewelry, the prestige, needing other people to approve of you. And let's be honest, that stuff is fragile. It depends on other people. But on the other side of the ledger, you have inner wealth. Things like peace, calmness, clarity, wisdom, a love that comes from inside you. The first kind is temporary. It can all be taken away. The second kind? That's permanent. That is entirely yours. And when you boil it all down, all the work, the self-reflection, the service to others, it's all pointing to one single goal. The true purpose of life isn't about accumulating more stuff, more possessions, more prestige. It's actually about stripping all that away. It's about going on a journey of self-discovery to find out who you really are underneath all those layers of ego and desire. So you might be wondering, okay, what's the payoff? If you actually commit to this path, what does this new way of being feel like in real life? Well, the rewards are pretty profound, truly life-altering. And this is what it looks like. That anxiety we talked about before, it gets replaced by this deep sense of calm. The frustration, it just kind of melts away and turns into genuine joy. You start to feel lighter, more carefree. You find a natural kindness coming out. Stress just doesn't have the same grip on you anymore. You just feel comfortable in your own skin, no matter what's going on around you. So we'll leave you with a final question to think about. If you stopped chasing all of it, the wealth, the prestige, the approval, if you just stopped running, what would you be free to move towards? What's the thing that truly matters to you? That's the real journey this ancient wisdom is inviting us all to begin. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer.